Where are the dividends?
Them really thank poor people for food. Them really thank poor people for food.
And not one red cent of dividends. Absolutely zilch to the people of Jamaica.
Where the money there?
They say that when you live in a glass house, do not throw stones.
You're not like anyone else. You find the way you are. Did you do this all yourself? A smile ignites the room. Sending us up to the time, you know it's Kartel. Representing for Blessydgazadiva.
Hey peeps, it's your girl Blessydgazadiva and welcome back to the Blessydgazadiva channel. I made this video yesterday, so you're going to hear a lot of references to today, but it's really yesterday. I didn't get the opportunity to post it because I was focused on Tommy Lee's case, and when I'm focused on a particular topic or subject, I just get right into it and absorb myself all into it. Anyhow, I have these two snippets that I'm going to add for you here. One is about Khanice and one is about the government and the subsidies they were supposed to be paying out for the lockdown. Anyway, enjoy, have a good day peeps, and as usual, have your discussions down below in the comment section and we will talk. I don't know when the government officials are going to learn JLP or PNP. Look at the other day, Nigel Clark was in Parliament making a mockery of the opposition. Now the opposition's turn to make mockery of Nigel Clark. This is one sad affair, and in the end, the poor people suffers because they take poor people for fool. But as usual, we're here to enlighten the poor, and no matter who want to say the government is not accountable, they are very much being held accountable by the people who do care. So the opposition is calling for Minister of Finance, Dr. Nigel Clark, to indicate when the funds to help persons affected by the weekend lockdowns will be disbursed. Spokesperson on Finance, Julian Robinson, says persons are eager to receive the assistance. Now, the way they were boasting and bragging about the Lasco tin mackerel that people are going to receive, I guess after people broke it down, they kind of shied away and said, it's not even worth it at all. But here goes. The people them still need the money, because if you take that $126 million check and it's not disbursed, then it goes as one lump sum into somebody's pocket somewhere, run one place, over one part, run a one corner. So it simply means that they need to disburse it. Even if it's a tin of mackerel, disburse it to the constituency, because at the end of the day, it is our tax-paying dollars. You, Mr. Politician, is not supposed to enjoy it. Anyway, let's hear what the Mr. Nigel Clark him had to say in response to Julian calling on him to be accountable. Again, people, CM sad song a play. Whichever one of them in a power, let's be wise and smart.
Finance Minister clarifies 2 million constituency fund disbursement. Kingston, Jamaica Minister of Finance and the Public Service Dr. Nigel Clark says that the 126 million budget allocation to MPs to assist their constituents should be available from the Constituency Development Fund CDF as of today. Today is what, people? Today is what day? Today, if I check correctly, is the 6th of April. Friday gone, Good Friday gone, and Easter gone. Let's continue. Dr. Clark, who was responding to a request from opposition spokesman on finance Julian Robinson to release the funds, said in a statement last night, "In my closing," I quote, "budget presentation on March 23rd, I announced additional support of 126 million for the vulnerable through the Constituency Development Fund CDF, which would make available 2 million for each constituency. I also explained that for technical and logistics reasons, this disbursement would occur in the new financial year that began on Holy Thursday, April 1st. For accountability and transparency, these kinds of allocations are disbursed through the CDF and relevant implementing agencies rather than directly to members of Parliament. There is therefore a natural gap between when instructions are given for the transfer of funds from the Consolidated Fund to the CDF, and when these funds can be made available for implementation by members of Parliament. I expect that tomorrow, the first full working day in the new financial year, the head of the CDF will confirm receipt of the 126 million from Consolidated Fund, as required by relevant GOJ rules and regulations. Upon that confirmation, the CDF will send to members of Parliament the requisite forms and regulations in regards to this allocation. Members of Parliament can then access their constituencies' allocation to procure basic food items for the vulnerable and undeserved via the implementing agency of their choice. Jesus Christ, I'm tired. This is when Lady Saw said, Jesus, I'm tired. I know Lady Saw mean. I'm tired. People, I'm tired. What them really take poor people for fool, you know? Them really. So if the opposition never question the money, what them would have try if say them would have put it in them pocket? You know, say them take poor people for fool, eh? Them take poor people for fool. When you do the maths and all of this, all them I talk about, one big tin Alaska mackerel, I go in at the yard of the people, and we already did the constituencies and the number of constituencies and how many people to a constituency, and it works out or maths out to about 320 Jamaican dollars per household. And this man is saying to buy basic needs. Chicken back is not even $70 anymore. I think it's $200. Some people say local chicken back is $4. A few weeks ago, prior to the move to the next phase of the plan, they kept using the phrase, let the poor and the most vulnerable get it, right? The more money will be spent trying to convince people to take an experimental product than what will be given for people to buy the basic necessities and survive in their household. Jamaica not ready for this yet. The government not do nothing. How he says this fund is going to be distributed? How are we going to be sure that the sufferers will benefit and not the dons and the political activists in the local constituencies? How can the government be so dumb? They grew in Jamaica or them grow somewhere else? Good Friday gone and Easter gone. Whether you said you were going to issue the money in the new financial year, it means that 6 days ago, today is April 6th, you should have made provisions for it to be in the accounts of the constituents by X amount of time, so that the first working day, which is today, people start getting the monies in their pockets so they can start planning for Friday coming, not for them to start getting the money today. But they didn't plan to give the money. It's only because Julian spoke about it. That is why they're running up and down. That the fund will be made available today when the Easter lockdown has come and gone. Ministers, they have to do much better. The government of Jamaica really, truly have to do much better. Anyway, people, we're going to segue into our next topic about Khanice's case and the fact that Khanice, confirmation came today that Khanice was indeed strangled.
This is Jamaica land we love. But in the blink of an eye, someone may die.
This is our country, and we have to take a stand.
We are our brother's keeper. We make the country we live in.
So we have to stand up and not make crime, mash it up.
Standing for women and children.
Take a stand for each other.
Take a stand for the culture.
A fewy country. We can't make crime mash it up.
A message from Crime Stop and the JCF. Stand for something.
Nationwide News understands that a post-mortem has confirmed that 20-year-old accounting clerk Khanice Jackson was strangled to death. The results of the autopsy were made available a few days ago to investigators. Jackson's family members have reportedly been informed of the development. The police had reported last week that it is suspected that Miss Jackson was strangled. 50-year-old mechanic Robert Fowler remains in custody this morning in connection with Miss Jackson's murder. Fowler is to appear in court on Friday. Khanice Jackson was brutally murdered and her body found in Portmore, St. Catherine 2 weeks ago. The police say Fowler has given a caution statement confessing to the crime. you just hope and pray that the family do find peace in all of this and solace in all of this. It is not a good time for her boyfriend. It's not a good time for her family. And for those of you who have reached out to me about this voice note that is circulating, let me tell you something, people. I'm a firm believer that if I bring you information, for one, it must be factual. Two, it must be from a source. Three, it must be from a reputable news entity. Or four, it is somebody that has confided in me and given it to me confidently for me to say without a shadow of a doubt, this is what it is. I cannot run with a voice note of a gentleman indicating hearsay. How many times we've heard about the Chinese telephone in this country? A lot of people are incarcerated because of that. A lot of people have lost their lives because of the Chinese telephone. So I don't want my platform to be a part of that. There may be other people who want to take that side of the news to you, but I am not that type of person. I don't run with information just because I want to run with it. I speak on topics that affects me. I speak on topics that I enjoy, and I speak on topics that I have a particular keen interest in. If I don't, then it's not that I won't bring it to you if you have an interest, but it has to be factual for me to bring it to you, because I'll touch on topics that I'm not particularly interested in, but it makes sense to talk about it. Politics, I hate talking about politics, but I realize the country is in a dire circumstance and state it needs to be addressed and addressed properly. So hence I'm taking it up. Anyway, tell me your thoughts down below in the comment section about what I've stated about the government and them piece of $126 million, aka $320 per house. The big Lasco tin mackerel, what them planned for giveaway. Sad and pathetic. I tell you, them really take poor people for a fool. And we'll have a discussion down below in the comment section. If you've not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit the notification bell. And if you've not yet smashed the like button on this video, smash the like button and send this out. I'm out.